Hello guys, and welcome to Lunar Goddess Tarot. We are going to be having a look into the divine feminine who's struggling with letting go or detaching in this reading. So I'm getting pretty specific in some of my readings because I want to answer questions. So if you have a specific question, send me an email and I will pick maybe one question a week, and I will address that in a reading, because I know that these are burning questions on this journey. And one of the questions is, how do I actually let go? What does this look like? And will I lose my twin? Will they move on with somebody else? What if I can't handle the grief or the pain or the fear of losing them? And depending on where you are on your journey, this can be a very daunting task and a very scary task at that. So I've chosen two tarot decks and then the Beyond Lemuria deck to really tap into the energies of this divine feminine who is being asked to let go and may have some questions about, well, how do I actually release my twin? And what will this look like? What will this look like? What will this feel like? And how do I begin this process? So let's see what the divine says and how the divine wants to assist the feminine on her journey here of releasing her counterpart. And I just want to clarify for those of you who are new to the channel, I do read for energy, so it's feminine energy, masculine energy. So I want to make it clear that the feminine energy can be housed in a male body and the masculine energy can be housed in a female body. So I refer to the masculine as him and the feminine as her, but it's just energy. Okay, so we're going to call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron to assist us here in this reading with providing the feminine who's being asked to let go at this time, which many feminines are. Even those feminines who are living with their counterpart, who are in some sort of reunion energy with their counterpart, they're still being asked to release and let go. And it's not just your connection, you're being asked to let go of any sort of hold or handle you feel like, or control or expectation you have for your entire life. So it goes much deeper than just the twin flame journey. I feel like this is a much deeper wound of codependency that's being healed on a deeper level than even before. We are really stepping away from the old template of what it means to be feminine, what it means to be masculine. Okay, there's a lot of energies coming out just right off the bat. So let's take a look at some of these overarching energies. Three of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Star. So right off the bat, 2 out of 3 cards are major arcana. Universe is on your side, feminine. If you're struggling with releasing your twin, you're struggling with, how do I let this person go when they occupy my every thought, every second of every day? They're the only one I want to be with. I can't imagine being with anybody else. In fact, I don't even know how I can live my life if I am not with this person. That's exactly why we're being asked to let go. When we have expectations, we're being led by the ego. We're being ruled by the ego. When we drop into a place of zero expectations of our entire life and we just allow things to unfold, much like the Buddhist practice, things become a lot more joyful. When we cling, when we grasp, when we hold on tightly, the masculine counterpart, the masculine energy, has no choice but to push us away, because they're teaching us at this time some valuable lessons of codependency. If you're wondering why the masculine pushes you away, okay, the opposite of this energy, why does the masculine push the feminine away? Take a look at my written reading that I did, I believe it was 2 days ago. I did a reading on that, and I laid it out in written form to explain what exactly is going on when the masculine does this, because it's not what it looks like. It's not what the 3D illusions are showing you. It's not because they don't love you. It's not because you're unworthy. It's not because you're unlovable. It's not because they don't value the connection. There's a much deeper reason. It's very specific for why the masculine does this. They're being led by their higher selves. The feminine is now being led by her higher self. So if this is coming from a place of ego, if you're pushing your twin away because I'll show them, that doesn't work in a twin flame connection. When ego battles ego, it gets you nowhere, and it gets you further and further into the realm of perceived separation. This is your own soul that you're battling against. I just want to make that very clear. And it takes a while to wrap your mind around it and grasp this idea that this is your own soul housed in two different bodies. So when you fight yourself, when you blame them, when you shame them, when you practice unforgiveness, you're really hurting yourself. And that's why when we try to let go with our ego, it brings us immense pain on many levels. When you let go from a soul level, when you're letting go from the heart, you're holding space. There's space for that person to return. There's space for this union to happen, but you're no longer trying to plan or map out what they'll say, how they'll come forward, what they'll do, when they'll do it. That's one of the main reasons I don't answer the question of when. Now, if something comes up in a reading, I can address that, but I don't specifically ask the cards for a time frame, because timelines are shifting so rapidly right now, and we have the power to co-create with the universe. So if I were to tell you something like 10 years, you would be devastated. That 10 years could be shaved down to 3 months, 2 months, a week, okay? With a shift in your alignment, a shift in your attitude, a shift in your perception. What really is necessary at this time, this is a perception of the feminine releasing the masculine. He's going to feel this on an energetic level, and he's going to then come forward. Now, I know it feels like a tug of war energy. Why do I have to release him for him to come forward? That feels manipulative. That feels like a game. That's through the 3D lens of relationships. I'm not going to answer his call. I'll wait 3 hours. Those are the games that we play in the 3D. It does not work in this connection. And once you realize that, okay, once you go through that process and you realize ignoring your twin does not get you the results you want, does not make them desire you more. This has, if it's ignoring them, that's a 3D lens, and that's the ego. If it's releasing them with love, releasing them with the vision of union, that's a completely different energy. So feminine, you're asked to step into the Fool energy and take this grand gesture, this leap of faith that says, I have no fucking idea what happens next, when it happens, how they come forward. I don't know how we untangle ourselves from this 3D mess that we found ourselves in. Words that were said, actions that were taken or not taken. I don't know how we do that, but I can't worry myself sick anymore because it's been making the feminine sick. I can't worry about that anymore. I'm being asked to reclaim my power. And if you look at the reading I did earlier today, which is very powerful, I did some animal totems for the feminine and the masculine. The masculine got wolf pathfinder and the feminine got cougar. So both, it was such a beautiful, delightful pairing because both are leaders and they're being asked to step into an alpha. Well, I won't say alpha, but masculine's stepping into an alpha role, but a heart-based alpha role. The feminine's being asked to step into her own leadership role. And to do that, you have to release this concept of what union is going to look like, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what they're doing, who they're doing it with. None of those things matter because this is your own soul in a different body. This is just you having different experiences at different times. And if you'll notice, the twins, if you've been able to have this conversation with your physical counterpart, you have the same wounds. If you have abandonment wounds, your twin will have abandonment wounds. If you have rejection wounds, they will have rejection wounds. If you had some sort of abuse in your childhood, they likely endured something very similar. So even though your lives appear different, your skin colors may be different, your genders may be different, they may be the same, your religions may be different, your cultures may be different, you may live in different places. You can have all these quote unquote differences, but at the core of this connection is purity. The core of this connection is the clarity of your own soul. So right now what they're showing me is you're wiping the slate clean and we're cleansing and clearing through this sloughing off process, this shedding process, this death process. You're cleansing the plate. You're cleansing the glass and the mirror because the mirror has been foggy for a long time. The mirror has been fogged up on both sides. We are cleansing it. And for the feminine, you're really asked to dive deep into surrender and acceptance. Follow your dreams and unexpected opportunities will follow. Archangel Metatron, trust in divine timing. Trust that this union will not happen in the way and the time that you necessarily want or expect. This has to come from a place of detachment, and it has to come from a place of lack of expectation. The one time in my connection where I've really been able to fully release and let my counterpart go was when he came forward with all the love, all the conviction, and all the dedication in the world. And I thought, how freaking ironic. How ironic. But I let him go with love, and I trusted. I had full faith and trust. And I've been searching for that ever since, to get back to that place of letting go from that place of full faith and trust. Now, the Three of Pentacles talks about working together. This is truly the power of union. Three, of course, indicates that this may be more than a pair. This could be a group, so group efforts. This could be the feminines coming together, the masculines coming together. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, being a team player. So the masculine and the feminine, right? You're asked, feminine, to step into this place, step into your project, step into this place of completing that which really ignites you and fires you up and lights you up from the inside. You're asked to step away from this obsession. And I'm using the word obsession because that's what it feels like when you're on this journey with your counterpart and with union, and really just throw yourself into your life in the physical plane, on the physical plane. So I think in this case, the Three of Pentacles is less about working together with your counterpart and more about you working together right now, in this now moment, with other feminines, with other masculines that are coming into your sphere. The Star card is wishes coming true. This is a very joyful card, and this talks about trusting that the future that's mapped out for you, that this path that you're embarking on, that the future is going to be bright and joyful. And we have to drop the expectation even of union. We really are being asked to even drop that, so that we drop deeper into this place of surrender and acceptance. It's like, we don't know if union will happen. And that's where many feminines are at. You know what? I don't know if union will happen. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be accepting of that. That's a challenge right now for a lot of feminines. Trusting that you're being guided and you're being led, and that beautiful, beautiful times are ahead. Beautiful times for humanity, for you, in whatever shape that arises. Now, for some feminines, they're realizing their counterpart was not their true counterpart. Their counterpart may have been a beautiful soulmate. Their counterpart may have just, maybe they thought, okay, this just isn't a counterpart at all. This is a karmic partner. For some of you, you're realizing that you need to go solo on your journey, and you're just in full surrender, and you will come back in line. You will come back to this person at a later point in time. Whatever that later point in time is, time doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Some of you are in this place of denial of the connection. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're confused, you're in fear, and you're being asked to let go. So there's many different scenarios and stories playing out right now in the collective. And for those of you who are at this place of realizing, I don't think I was on the twin flame journey at all, that's okay too. You can still watch readings. You can still apply this to your divine feminine energy, your masculine energy. You can still apply this to a soulmate union, although it'll be different, because soulmate unions, soulmate relationships and connections usually are a lot easier, right? They don't have necessarily the separation phase. They don't necessarily, although they can, but they don't necessarily have the strife. They don't have all of these lessons. They don't necessarily trigger you as heavily or pull you into this place of the dark night or the ego death. They're generally a lot calmer, a lot quieter, and generally just a lot more peaceful. coming into union can be very blissful, and that can happen for the twin flame union as well. But when you go through these stages of pre-union, it's not usually blissful. That's why when someone says, I met my twin flame, we got married, and it lived happily ever after, I'm like, are you sure that was your twin flame? I mean, maybe you guys did a lot of work in a past life, but I don't know anyone who's coming to that place that easily. So King of Wands, feminine, and justice. Justice, justice. The scales of balance, bringing reciprocity, divine justice being brought in just to this earth, to the earth plane, to your connection, to all twin flame connections, to divine connections in general. Bringing in this energy of making things right. And you see the reflection here. What's interesting is the reflection is a different person. So yes, your twin flame is in a different body, but there's still you housed in two different bodies. And you can still see the resemblance. There's a resemblance here. Most twins resemble each other in the physical in some way. Some look like brother and sister, actually. So this is about karma playing out. And feminines, what I'm picking up on for a lot of these feminines who are being asked to let go is your masculine, as I spoke about in previous readings, your masculine has gone through an ego death, a dark night of the soul, their life crumbling and falling apart right in front of them, a divorce, a separation, okay, a custody battle, legal battles, loss of their business, loss of a job, etc. Now, what has happened is the masculine is physically detached or is in the process of physically detaching depending on where they're at in their journey. But they're still emotionally working through the process of detaching, okay? They're still karmically detaching. As long as there's a karmic attachment of some sort to this person, okay? As long as they're still in the throes of recovery, so to speak, from these somewhat abusive or downright abusive relationships that a lot of the masculines were in when they didn't value themselves and they didn't know who they were and what they deserved. What is happening is the masculines are not allowed to enter the queendom of their feminine until they have healed to a certain degree and a certain level this karma. Because the feminine is too pure at this point. The feminine is over here in her King of Wands energy, creating, manifesting, using the power of her heart-based intuition, bringing joy into her life. She's free. Look at that wild stallion. She's free. She's unattached. She's untethered. She cannot be tethered by his karma, even though for a lot of feminines, this karmic partner is also a soulmate of yours or a karmic partner of yours in some way. It's the masculine energy who opted to let this play out in the physical and to be the one in the relationship with this person. So the feminine has done her job. She's had her karmic partners of her own. She's healed. She's gone through abusive relationships. She's gone through trauma. She's healing or healed all of that in a significant, massive way. She doesn't have the space or the room. I mean, would you want to bring this person any of your drama or trauma? No. The masculine knows that he has to heal to a certain degree, and this is why his higher self is like stepping back and allowing her the space to really step into her full power. He knows exactly what he needs to do. So yes, divine justice is being served, and you know, there's a sense of learning from the past here that's occurring for the masculine counterpart. And what I like about that is that they're not going to come to the feminine in this needy energy, in this toxic energy anymore. So if there were patterns in the past where they came to you unhealed and they came to you and they had their hands full of yesterday, they had their hands full of this karmic situation, and you were just sort of, it's not that you were the last priority, but the feminine would have perceived it that way. This is not happening. And this could have been a job. Maybe it wasn't a person. This is not happening any longer. The scales have to be balanced to a certain level for there to be equality and fairness in this connection. So feminine, work on balancing your inner masculine so that your masculine can work on balancing their inner feminine. There's a lot of energy here with the Knight of Wands of spontaneity. Feminine, you may be spontaneously traveling, spontaneously quitting a job, taking risks, right? The dreamer, the Fool card, taking those risks. Whatever you're dreaming about or wanting to adventure with or through or on, I don't know how to, what is the adventure that's calling your soul, this is what you need to focus on. That's what's going to bring justice into this connection. Also for the feminine is the feminine living her most glorious, exalted life. Let yourself be exalted. Let yourself experience that joy, that adventure, that passion. Let yourself delve into a passion project. Imagine the most incredible life that you could be living and start to manifest that. Wands is fire energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You know, look, we have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards out of the 5. The universe is creating this situation and scenario for the feminine to make sure that she steps into her power. You have the freedom to shift your reality, feminine, and that's what's being called for here. The freedom to really shift that reality into a brand new place. Into a place where it doesn't matter what your masculine's doing or not doing or thinking or not thinking or saying or not saying, who they're doing it with, it doesn't matter. All of that can shift and change in an instant. Your counterpart can come rushing in towards you. They can heal in a matter of days or weeks. I truly believe this. It is a matter of perspective. What is your perspective? Shift that perspective. Shift it back to you. You are them and they are you. There is no separation. It's a separation that's perceived on the physical plane, and the physical plane has limitations. The physical plane has this concept of time that exists to stress us out, or you have to be here at a certain time. What if I'm busy? What if I'm busy? I'm at a drum circle. What if I'm busy meditating? What if I'm busy and I just got swept up in my passions and I'm writing fervently? I don't want to be there at a certain time. So when we live from this place of moment to moment, time becomes irrelevant. It really is. I don't want you guys to attach to time. If a reader has ever told you a specific time, detach, cleanse, and clear your energy from that person. Look, heart chakra, unfurling back to love. Okay, guys, this is so important. So beautiful. You have the energy of the dragonfly, which is, to me, is connected to the other realm, connected to family members, loved ones who have passed and who have crossed over, and they come to you in the form of dragonfly to bring messages of hope, messages of love, okay, messages that it's just energy, that we are just energy and we change form. So you are energy existing in 2 different bodies. Opening your heart. So feminine, what you can do right now is open your heart. If your heart is closed off to your counterpart, if you've been blaming them, if you've been rejecting them, if you realize that you've been the runner and you've been abandoning them, this is you abandoning yourself, rejecting yourself, closing your heart off to yourself and to the own experiences that you can have in this world, in this life. It's time to open up your heart. Okay? This is about forgiveness and compassion. So we can always choose love or fear. Choose love over fear. This is about choosing to keep your heart open. It's a choice. It is a choice. Keep my heart open or close it today. What am I going to do? Many things can arise that make us want to close our hearts. Okay? Choose forgiveness. Everyone just wants to be loved and accepted in this world. Everyone. We all have our insecurities, our fears, our triggers. But if we can move from a place of love, speak from a place of love, act from a place of love, we're doing ourselves a service and the whole world and anyone that comes into contact with us a service as well. Healing. Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a vortex, okay, in California. Healing. So yes, there's healing happening. And for some of you, this is so interesting. I'll have to show this to my soul sister, Ari, who I've introduced to you guys on the channel, because she was just mentioning Mount Shasta the other day as the place where she's been heavily called to visit. So for some of you, healing is going to occur at certain vortexes. And whether it's Mount Shasta or another vortex, I think that's irrelevant. But Mount Shasta it's a place that's connected to Lemuria. So those of you who resonate with Lemuria or Atlantis, you may have profound connections to Mount Shasta. And what happened is the Lemurians became aware that their home was going to be destroyed. So they started searching for other homes around the globe, and they found Mount Shasta. That was one of the places that they traveled to, they journeyed to. So the idea is that there's these multidimensional beings, which were multidimensional. We live in a multidimensional universe, but they live inside the mountain. And there's been reports of all kinds of magical things happening, okay, on or near Mount Shasta. And it's said that there's a connection to parallel lives, parallel worlds when you travel to Mount Shasta. And this, coupled with the healing card, really tells me that travel is on the books for a lot of you. And this is going to help you rebalance your energies, rebalance your chakra systems, okay, your chakra system, not systems, your chakras, and bring about more energetic awareness, more balance. This is also about, for some of you, coming into your own. As you open your heart, you heal yourself, you heal others, and you come into your power more and more. You come into your gifts. But for some of you, you're going to be, if this is a message for you, you will know, and you will be called to specifically travel to Mount Shasta. I'm hearing this year, but more potently next year, when travel really starts to open up and become free again. I think you guys catch my drift with that, where you're just able to travel where you want to go, like we used to be able to do. So some of you are going to be waiting until next year. Next year to me feels lighter. I haven't looked into the astrology of next year yet, but it feels like just a lighter energy, and an energy that's going to be more inviting to world travel, global travel, and just creation. This year is laying the foundations. Last year was like the destruction. This year is the creation energy, and the next year is sort of the action mode. And this is how I see it playing out for the divine counterparts. So this is really beautiful. And I feel like there is healing going on for both counterparts at this time in different ways. And just feminine, honor these energies for yourself. Honor your journey, honor your body, honor your mind, honor your soul, and know that you're doing the absolute best you can, and that everything has its time, everything has its turn, everything has its season. To everything, turn, 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 right? There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And so that song just came channeled through. So enjoy the season of life that you're in. Enmesh yourself with the energies and the time that you're spending here. Each moment is precious. Each moment is sacred. I send you guys lots of love. And that being said, I'm off to live my life and enjoy this probably last really beautiful day before summer hits here and it just gets really blazingly hot for several months straight. So I'm going to go outside, enjoy my day. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take good care and take care of you.